Today on Aging Untold, cannabis in dementia care.
If you're going to try this, there is the difference between CBD or THC.
We'll discuss the facts about edibles and what you need to know if you decide to introduce it to your care. Plus, living longer is one thing, living well is another.
It is the difference between a chronological age and a biological age. Because people are living longer, people are looking at more preventive health.
We're exploring how to extend health span, not just lifespan. Then Granny strikes back.
And then he started panicking, and he was like, "This is my job," and I was like, "This is your job? Scamming?"
How one woman took a would-be scammer to task by blowing his cover. Experts with advice and solutions. You're watching Aging Untold with Aging Well coach Catherine Ambrose, gerontologist Sam Craddock, aging expert Amy O'Rourke, and board-certified physician Dr. Ray Rogers. We're all getting older. It's about time we talked about it.
Welcome to Aging Untold. With medical marijuana now legal in at least 40 states, plus the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico, some families may be wondering if cannabis edibles can help with dementia symptoms like agitation, memory loss, and sleep problems. However, there are concerns about the risk outweighing the benefits. Sam, how common is this treatment, and what are your main concerns about using gummies for dementia?
So it is growing in popularity, and I'm not against its use in a controlled environment for the right reasons. But what we don't want to do is just over-sedate somebody because they're easier to control. And we've seen that with, truthfully, we've seen that with synthetic drugs throughout, especially in communities. And so that's not something that we want to take on in the home, and because they're becoming readily available, I worry about that. You can over-sedate somebody, then you've got to increase fall. Now with somebody that's already got dementia, could we increase their confusion? Yes, we could. We could cause all kinds of problems along the way with this. So I always tell people, be very careful. You can lower your blood pressure and the overuse. So gummies take a little longer to kick in.
I've heard.
Have you? And so while you're waiting, if you're impatient and you're wanting that behavior to change, are you giving an extra gummy? And then all of a sudden the person has too many on board and you're in a bit of an overdose.
You have to take into account also that an older person, their metabolism is not as efficient as it is when you're younger. So now you're giving something that's delayed and there's another delay. So it's really an unpredictable effect on it. But our body has our own internal endocannabinoid system. We have that inside of us, and it hits all receptors, and it's like a communication network. And it does the same thing in terms of regulating appetite, mood, pain, and all those different things. And so when you exercise, you actually hit that system. So that's how you get that same runner's high from endorphins. You get it from exercise, from this endocannabinoid system.
So running's like smoking weed.
Exactly.
Right, there
Now
you go.
I know why there's marathon runners. Never understood it before.
There's two behaviors we're really talking about here, aggression and agitation. That's the hardest stage for caregivers to manage. And so it's been studied, and it's been successfully studied at the Fisher Center for Alzheimer's Research, and it's also been studied at Johns Hopkins, and it's been very successful at managing the behaviors. Now, I in no way would say, oh, use this instead of trying everything else. Non-pharmacological is always the best solution, but I think I was thinking about this woman that called me from her laundry room. She was kind of stressed out about her husband, and she didn't want him to hear her. She had just given him a gummy, and she said, I feel like I want to take one too. Be careful.
Maybe it's better for the caregiver sometimes to take the gummy versus
Take the gummy.
Yeah, you can manage the aggression and the anxiety if you're just a little more relaxed.
And if you're out there wondering, how do I choose? You can talk to a doctor. You can talk to a healthcare provider.
One of my biggest concerns is if we're agitated and the behaviors are there, have we ruled out treatable causes first? Or are we just assuming that this is normal? Because aggression and agitation are not normal dementia symptoms. And I can't say that enough. They're not normal. There is something going on, and we need to get to the
Because
root.
they
I'm going
can't
to politely
communicate. They're
disagree.
trying to tell you
It's
something.
it's a common behavior that doesn't have to be solved with medicine. And I don't like the word normal so much. It's just common. I wouldn't want anyone to
It can
think
be
that.
common, but I think we're saying let's get to the root cause of why it's occurring. And if there's not one, then maybe gummies.
Maybe there's an infection going on
Yeah.
that's causing the behavior.
Or the caregiver needs more training, more tips, more solutions.
Yep.
And there's something to really do. I like what you said about not over sedating someone's. And
The
also
other thing,
though, I
in
like
terms
being
of
curious.
education, you have all these states that have the medical marijuana. There's a lot of education, a lot of physicians. We don't really know that, but there's online things and there's organizations where you actually can go and learn the difference in the composition, concentrations, and all that, so you have a better idea of when to utilize these agents.
So I actually do know a physician in our hometown that's very engaged in medical marijuana, has treatment, and she's been working with the governor on this.
In
and
Kansas?
So, yes, in Kansas.
It's not legal.
They're working on getting it to be legal.
Now in Oklahoma, where I'm licensed, it is legal, but I know in Kansas it's not.
So Kansas might be one of the last states, but there is a physician, at least one that I know of, that's really actively working on this because it can help with symptoms. I think the big thing is that stay curious about everything, but stay curious because when you're out of options, there might be something out there, and this could be directed through a physician. You don't have to go shopping on your own and say, I'll take the red teddy bear and the pink giraffe. You could actually have a doctor prescribe it.
Coming up,
You're approaching seniors that's frail to get money. How is that okay?
we reveal how so-called grandparent scams are getting more sophisticated so you can spot the red flags. First, today's 60s redefined.
We've had a societal shift. It used to be if you were 40, you were old, and if you were 60, you were old. Now it's 80-year-old.
We'll discuss how science is changing what healthy aging looks like.
Maybe you've heard the saying, 40 is the new 20, or 60 is the new 40. It's a popular idea, but what does it really mean for our health and our lives today? Ladies, I'd like to start this conversation off by explaining what I think it means, and it's all about lifespan versus health span. Well, first of all, when I heard that the new 60 is the new 40, I thought, oh my gosh, could I feel like I'm 40 instead of 60 when I get there? And so it feels empowering and like, oh gosh, we have all this opportunity. But then I heard someone mention that these catchphrases are really kind of smothered in ageism. That took me back because it was such a feel-good for me, but I thought, you know what? They're right. Because what it's really saying is that aging is only acceptable when it looks and feels young. So not only do we need to look younger, but we even have to feel younger than we actually are. And so it's like the aging police.
Oh,
like
I'm with you.
But I look at it different. I think we're in the medical profession and functional medicine, we're trying to get away from that phrase anti-aging medicine. We're really going on to the phrase of longevity medicine. It is the difference between a chronological age and a biological age. Because people are living longer, people are looking at more preventive health, people are metabolic health is getting better and all that. So longevity and health span is really what we're focused at. And so many of the different things that we're gearing things towards are different tests that we have now that can look at your chronological and biological age. It can also look at your speed of aging and what your organs are doing so that you can have interventions and all that for longevity and healthy
I
aging.
love
really
that.
Not to look.
To your point, and I agree with you 100%, we've had a societal shift. It used to be if you were 40, you were old, and if you were 60, you were old. Now it's 80-year-old. So there's been a genuine societal shift. And in truth, you can look at a 72-year-old and they might be 64. You can look at a 92-year-old, they might. So you can't always tell. But what I think is, it's a really true thing that I think we're coming across many 80-year-olds and 90-year-olds that are healthy. But if you're fragile and you're not there, you can end up judging yourself like you've done something bad or wrong. So I think you have to have a lot of self-awareness and use that self-awareness to be where you are. Get as good as you can get, but don't judge yourself if you're not.
Right. So instead of saying, is 80 the new 60, we should be saying, what can I do to make 80 my best version of myself?
That's right.
Because age is a number and function is really the truth here.
right.
And it's not about what's best for you or you. It's what's going to be best for me and how am I going to age in the best way. And I think that's what you in functional med are really
I always
focused
tell
on.
people, you meet people where they are.
Yeah.
You meet people where they are. And you can always improve on that base for them. You know, when I was 20, I thought 40 was old.
Oh.
And then I got 40, I thought 60 was old. And now I'm 60, I think 80's old.
Yeah. I say all the time, I'm the same age my grandmother was when she was old.
So here's the truth. The untold truth is that perhaps you could feel better than you ever imagined if you plug into longevity medicine and fitness and all the things that can help you age well.
Coming up, she had a childhood dream her family said couldn't happen. How decades later, she's making a huge difference, keeping thousands safe at one of the largest gatherings in Vermont. But first, seniors losing more money to scams.
Usually a scam says potential scam or something like this, but it was actually somebody's name with a telephone number.
How you can spot the signs, and we reveal how this grandma served one scammer a slice of humble pie. You can watch Aging Untold anytime online. Go to aginguntold.com or subscribe to the Aging Untold YouTube channel for more.
For many seniors, few things are as precious as their grandchildren. Scammers know this, and experts say they use it to their advantage. Jen Pachano is in Cleveland showing us how and why one scammer messed with the wrong grandma.
Krista Willis got a call like many other senior citizens have been getting lately. Willis was shocked at what the man on the other line said.
He says, I'm the deputy somebody, your grandson was in an accident, he's at fault, and you need to pay his bond for him to get out.
He asked her to wire $5,000 immediately in order to keep her grandson, Eric, from being held in jail all weekend. Susan Lacotte with the FBI in Cleveland says criminals are now using a playbook of tactics and tools after they connect via text or a phone call with a sympathetic grandparent who's compelled to help when they think their loved one is in trouble.
Well, maybe they're arrested, maybe they've been in an accident, or perhaps stranded on the side of the road and need money, and they need money now. And that's when the scam starts.
But in Willis's case, this scammer was going after the wrong grandma.
And I'm like thinking to myself in the back of my head, this is going to be really cute. Because I know for sure my grandson is upstairs, but I'm going to go with this.
Not only because she knew he was home, but because she's also a member of the Cuyahoga County Scam Squad.
I need to know your name so I can call you back. And he was like, well, you don't need to know that information.
Lacotte says Willis did the right thing by asking questions before acting and not giving up the requested funds right away.
That first call that you make should be to the person who is purported to be in trouble, to verify if they are in fact stranded on the side of the road, in the hospital, in jail, or have been detained or arrested or whatnot.
Willis didn't stop at trying to extract information from the scammer. She laid into him. The tongue lashing went on for about 10 minutes, she said.
You're approaching seniors that's frail to get money. How is that okay? And he was like, well, you just don't understand, it's hard out here. And it's like, really? I'm like,
He gave you a sob story?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
In the absence of an over-the-phone scolding like Willis was able to pull off, Lacotte says reporting it and quickly is very important and could actually help get you your money back if you do end up wiring money to fraudsters.
If it is reported to ic3.gov within 3 days, there's about an 80% chance of us to recover most of those funds for the victim.
Lacotte says even if it's beyond the 3-day window, it's important to step up and file a report.
It helps the FBI connect the dots all across the country because it's important to know that these criminal actors, they're usually not working alone. This is a criminal network.
I'm just thinking in the back of my head, how many seniors fall for this and just give up their life savings for something like this? And they're just trying to help their grandchild.
Amazing that her grandson was upstairs, so she didn't go into fight or flight like most people do. And I kind of think maybe that scammer wasn't so good because he didn't have a really great script and he didn't have a good answer, like, you don't need to know that. So she shook him up. But there are a lot of scammers and they are good. And this is a big business, and a lot of these people are overseas. It's called the hustle kingdoms. And it's really tough to get money back. That was encouraging that the FBI was saying that they could get some.
That she said within 72 hours reported to the right person, you could get it back. But I was so upset when he said, well, you don't know how hard it is out here. And I'm thinking,
I'm going to feel sorry for you right now.
I'm supposed to just give you $5,000 so you don't have to go to work today?
The other thing too is that that's happened to my aunt and all that, and she hung up and she kept them on the phone, but then she took her other phone and called. So she's like, oh, okay. But the other thing, you can have codes. I think we had to tell our kids they have codes.
You have to have a safe word. You have to have a family safe word. Okay. Give me the number or give me the word. Tell me what that word is. And I don't care if it's peanut butter. You got to have some kind of word to identify.
Yeah, and I think coaching your older adult, coaching them, telling them, because I think there's some naivete out there that if you sit them down and say, believe nothing, give nothing, like really hardcore coach them, because they could get fooled so much more easily
They're in
than
panic mode too.
That's right.
Normally
They're
they're
in
in
right.
panic mode. And you know what?
you're
There's
right.
not anything I wouldn't do for my grandkids. So
Well, here's a fact that might help some people feel better. People of all ages get scammed.
yes.
The thing of it is
Yeah.
that seniors will give up more money, and so they're a big target.
Yeah.
And they're lonely, and so, but he did mess with the wrong grandma, and
He did.
I love it. Be sure to keep it right here. We'll be right back on Aging Untold.
After the break, for nearly 50 years, she's taken a vacation from her full-time job to work part-time at a local fair. Why she's inspired to keep coming back year after year.
She was inspired to follow a childhood dream decades after she was told by her family they couldn't make it happen. Joe Carroll shows us how Charlene Phelps is keeping people happy and healthy at Vermont's largest county fair.
Fun times at the fair. For 10 days, the Champlain Valley Fair becomes one of the biggest towns in Vermont. On a busy day, 14,000 fairgoers will go through these gates. With so many people, there's bound to be folks who need a little TLC.
Does it seem like every year it gets busier and busier?
It does.
That's where Charlene Phelps comes to the rescue. The 74-year-old is the head of the fair's emergency response team.
We'll go down this way.
From sprains to bee stings, Charlene and her crew are busy. Today is senior day, and it's a hot one.
We have a lot of seniors that come, and people don't drink enough water.
The 45-person medical team is here 24/7, covering the 130-acre property.
Good morning. Say good morning to everybody.
Do you recognize a lot of people?
Oh, I've been here for 47 years.
47.
I've been superintendent for about, 30 years.
Good morning, young lady.
Good morning.
Charlene wanted to become a nurse, but that wasn't in the cards.
I grew up with a large family, and I'm the oldest girl, so I couldn't go on to college and become a nurse or whatever, so this is the next best thing.
Why do you enjoy it so much?
I like taking care of people. I like helping people.
When she's not working the fair, she keeps busy in her hometown of Starksboro. Charlene is the head of the town's first response and emergency management leader. Not only is Charlene busy with emergency rescues, she's also has a full-time job working on a dairy farm.
This is a lady who wears many hats, and she wears them all very well.
So this is my vacation from the farm, and I sleep in a camper over here.
This is your vacation?
Yes, it is. I've been here since the 19th. A lot of people don't even realize what we do and what we're about until they need us.
Gustavo Lazaro found that out the hard way.
And over on the swings way over there is Gustavo, and we saved his life.
He suffered a cardiac arrest 3 years ago.
I mean, he was gone.
He's back working the rides.
Came for my hug, Gustavo.
Do you remember what happened? No.
Gustavo had a second chance at life thanks to the quick response of the medical team. His story is another reason why this super senior comes back every year.
I think it's because I'm helping people.
Making sure the fun stays at the fair.
Charlene to the rescue. Keeping the fair fun. Love it.
Yeah.
She's in the golf cart, and she refers to it senior day as if she wasn't one. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
well, you know, I thought, good for you. Her self-perception is dead on straight. So working the dairy farm, I wanted to know, what did she do? What was she responsible? How long was it her family farm? Like, and then how many people must know her and love her?
She had it in her. From a young age, she had a certain passion, and even if she couldn't go what that looked like at that title as a nurse, she still followed that passion and just kept going.
Shows us that we have a calling to help others.
Yeah.
And if we just submit to it, then we'll be fulfilling it. Maybe not in the
Sometimes
way that we thought.
exactly,
Maybe not in
exactly.
the design that we thought it would be.
I would be so happy to have Charlene come rescue me. That's for sure.
100%.
And we're all getting older, and it's about time we talked about it. Until next time on Aging Untold.
On the next Aging Untold, wrinkles, weight loss or gain, and thinning hair. These are all common changes as we age.
You know, we're always trying to paint things and make things look better so other people see what we want them to see.
We'll explore the importance of keeping a positive body image the older we get. Find more Aging Untold content on your favorite social platform. You can follow Aging Untold on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok now.